So what you're going to have to do is go ahead and multiply. Now, I'm going to leave him broke off just for a minute. At the end, I can multiply him back through, but right now I'm not going to. When I bring him down here, I can break this down if I want to, or I can write it the first time. Okay, so this may be an optional step. I don't know. Well, it was x plus 3 over x times 5 over x squared plus 7x plus 12. Then I could break that down, which looks like 6 plus 4 and 6 plus 3, right? I'm sorry, x. So at this point then, my x plus 3's cancel off, right? So I'm left with 5 over x times x plus 4. Okay. I don't know in the directions if it just actually asks you to leave in one particular way. Let me look at our homework to make sure. Nope, find each product. This is the same as x squared plus 4x. I'm just doing distributive property back. Okay. You may see it either way. Just know that those two things are equal. Okay. To me, because they actually ask you to find the product, I would probably go back to this step. Okay. But no, like in the back of the book, they may leave you at this. So if you look the step prior to multiplying back, you should have the same thing. Okay. Any questions on what I did? Yes, we're going to do one right now that's going to factor the top. Actually, you're going to do this one. Okay, so here we go. Yes. I know, it kind of does look that way, doesn't it? I'll clean this Y squared up because he does look funny. Okay, did that one very quickly. You need to break down before you can reduce. Okay. Now, this one and this one could reduce because I can't break that down smaller. But I can't go, well, here's a y squared and here's a y squared, so I'm going to get rid of those. You can't do that. Why? Because he's added to other things. Okay? So I can't do that. He's got to go with that whole group unless I can start breaking in smaller multiples. Okay? Yes, because those are exactly the same. They're both added to the same thing. So I'm okay there. Take no more than 30 seconds to finish this one up. Done. Alright, so Lakin, tell me what you did. Okay. Okay. Then I want you guys your final answer. Do you see what she did? Do you see why you couldn't do what you did? Really? Tell me what you did. All right, you just start. Listen, I'm going to actually go back up here. I want to erase all this stuff. This is the correct answer, okay? I'm going to actually put Lauren's up here, and we're going to look and see as a group. Okay, and I'm not picking on you, Lauren, okay? Just to see, because that may be a question some of us have. All right, so you tell me what you wrote first. Mistake or all, even if you see it, if we're going through. Okay. Okay. Okay, what'd you get? Shh. Hold on. No. Tell me what you did. Okay, so at this point, stop. What did you do wrong at the top? If you foiled that, FOIL, what's the first terms multiplied? Okay, which is? Okay, y squared, so we're okay there. What's your outside terms multiplied together? 2y. So I have right now you have y squared plus 2y. What's your inside terms? And what's your last term? Okay, so you got this one right, and you got that one right, but what happens to these two things right here? They cancel off, so you didn't force yourself to have a 3y. That was your first one, okay? And then you caught your second mistake. I don't know that you caught your first mistake. Okay, but your second mistake you caught real quick as you were going back through. What do these two things share in common? Now, if this was y squared minus 4, then you're perfect. But that's 4y. So the first thing I need to do is pull out that y. And so now he's y and y minus 4. Okay? All right. Anybody else have a problem with that one? What was the right answer? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. All right, any questions on that? Very quickly, you don't have to write this one down. If I have 2/3 divided by 4/5, how do you do that as just numbers? Okay. So, first number stays exactly the same. I change the divide to a multiply, and I take the reciprocal of the second number. So now, what you're going to have is this. Divide 5y over 8x cubed. That's a 5, guys. I'll make a mistake again. Must be. So what's the first step you're going to have to do? Keep the first one and flip the second one. Take the reciprocal. Now, I will tell you, sometimes when they give you this problem, you'll see it reduce across that divide symbol, and you'll think, man, it's going to clean up real nice. Don't do anything until you flip it. Okay? So after you flip, then we're going to go right back into the same stuff. I can do that. So 4 will go into 4 once, 4 will go into 8 2. X will go into x cubed, so that makes it x squared now, right? 5 will go into 15. Y will go into y squared. so I'm left with a 1. So right now, I might just want to rewrite that so I can see everything a little bit more clearly. And then just multiply, and I get 6x squared y over 1. And I really do not have to put the over 1 part because I know anything divided by 1 is 6. Now, from here, I could have just multiplied straight across, okay, and then reduced afterwards. Either one of those is fine. X and x cubed. So that left me x squared. Okay, same thing here with the y squared and the y. It reduced down to leave me just a y on top. No. Very good question. I'm flipping it because of the divide symbol. I'm not flipping because of a negative exponent. So for some weird reason, let's say I have a negative exponent here first. When I flip it, you got to keep that negative exponent the first time you flip it, because you're flipping it based upon the divide symbol. Then you might flip the y because he has a negative 1. Okay? Very good question. Do not force that now to be negative because you flipped it, okay? Very good question on that one. All right, do this one. That's a D, by the way. Where did your variables go? I don't see what you did. I mean, where did your 1 and 2 come from? 2, 1, and no, 2D is changed to the subtract 4. So it's 2D minus 4. So, I mean, he's of the group. So, unless there's another 2D by 4, I can't reduce anything yet. Okay? Factor whatever you can out. All right, Elijah, tell me your first step. Okay, keep the first. Okay. Do what? Say it louder. Change it to multiply. Flip the second, okay? Everybody good with what he has so far? Alright, now what? Okay. Is there anything I can factor out of this right here? Do they share anything in common each term? A 4. So let's pull out a 4. So I have 4 times D minus 2. Would that be right? Okay, anything on the bottom I can factor out, Elijah? 2, so what's 2 times what? D minus 3 times, or I could have actually just put them together right here too. D minus 4, they don't have anything there. Anything here in common? 2, so I can do that as a 2 times D minus 2. Now, do you see anything they share in common? D minus 2's. Anything else? Okay, well, let's look on the bottom, because if I multiply that, what's 2 times 2? So would you agree that the 4 and these two 2's also make a 4, so those will reduce? Does everybody agree with that? So, Elijah, what's left? What's left on D? Okay. There you go. Now, do not give me negative 4 over negative 3, which becomes as positive 4 over 3. D minus 4 is one thing together. So you cannot just pull the D's by themselves. If that was multiplied, let's say I had another D out here and another D out here, then I could reduce those. But I can't D's because this D is hooked with this subtract 4. This D is subtract 2 and minus 3. They're not the same thing. Okay? Yes. This one and this one. Not until you get rid of this. Okay? No, because this 4D is hooked to what? And this 2D is hooked to, okay? Even if this was 4D minus 6 over 2D minus 6, you can't reduce to say, okay, that's 2. Because your 6's are the same, so I want to reduce. No. Because this is still different than this. So I can't just reduce this part. Okay? The only time you're able to reduce is when it is something multiplied to something else. Okay? Then I can start to reduce. Once I have that add and subtract in there, I cannot just pull one or two things out when I want to. Okay? Now, okay, so this, what you're asking is, can I pull out a 2D here, a 2, and make that 2D minus 4? Okay, and then this 2D, then you can, because this 2D minus 4 is the same as this 2D minus 4. That's okay. Alright? But I cannot go, well, this is 4D minus 8 and 2D minus 4. I've got to pull something out first to make them look exactly alike before I start to reduce them. Okay? Let's do one more. And then you can work on homework. Enough for you to practice on. You can go ahead and go across, Lauren. It's okay. Yeah, it's alright. And you can always go and do more than what I give you. I mean, I know that sounds bad. Most people don't want to, but I mean, it's good. What? Okay. For Christmas, somebody loved him so much they gave him some kind of a book that had more algebra problems. See, that would probably tickle me to death. That's what I'm saying. That would tickle me to death because I, you know. So. Oh, okay. All right, let's work. Let's work on this problem so we can get started with our homework. Because you're already at almost 150. So we don't have a lot of time to work on homework. I'll give you a hint. This one, I get my pencil up there. This one does not break down. I will give you that hint. It does not. Most of you will want to put Q minus 2 and Q plus 2. It will cancel the middle terms out, but what does your last terms get? Negative 2 times a positive 2 will give you a negative 4. So just to let you know that, okay? George, tell me what I need to start right now. Okay, how can I break that down? So I'm going to factor Q with the parentheses here. Okay, where is my Q in this term? Okay, so how can I factor out a Q? Okay, but I can't factor. You're right, I can't factor. If I think of my numbers of 2 and 3, they're both, I'm going to add them. So what two numbers multiply together to give me 2 that can add together to give me 3? 1 and 2. So he's going to have Q plus 1 and Q plus 2. I'm okay with that, George. Now, what am I going to do on this side, though? Change, okay, and flip them. Okay, now what? Okay. All right, so now what am I going to have left? So when I multiply, you agree that Q plus 2 times Q squared plus 4 looks like this, and 12 times 1 would look like this. And that's your answer. I can't go down any farther. What? All right, is everybody good? Now, could you have multiplied this by using FOIL? Yes, but I did notice in our book, they leave it as this for your homework tonight. So you can stop right there and not multiply back together, okay? All right, here we go. Somebody turn the lights on.